Vote 2024. The U.S. Supreme Court today heard arguments about whether Colorado should be allowed to disqualify former President Trump from that state's ballot. It would happen under the insurrectionist clause in the 14th Amendment. Now, the Colorado Supreme Court ruled 4-3 in December that the amendment does apply to the former president, who has appealed that decision to the Supreme Court. News4JAX reporter Ann Maxwell breaks down the arguments on both sides and when we might expect to hear a decision.
U.S. Supreme Court is reviewing a monumental decision that could have broad implications for the upcoming presidential election. The big question, can Colorado apply a constitutional amendment passed in the wake of the Civil War to keep Confederates from holding office to former President Donald Trump? The state of Colorado says yes, with their attorney arguing their case before the U.S. Supreme Court Thursday. Jenna Griswold is Colorado's Secretary of State.
It's striking, just steps away from the U.S. Capitol, where Donald Trump incited an insurrection, a violent mob, where Congress people ran for their lives.
The former president and his team told the justices that the 14th Amendment does not apply to the office of the presidency. This is the relevant part of that amendment, Section 3. Now, it mentions several offices that somebody who has engaged in an insurrection cannot hold. It mentions no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or an officer of the United States. It does not mention the office of the presidency or vice presidency. Now, former President Trump's team is arguing that if the authors of this wanted the presidency to be included, they would have said so explicitly.
I just finished watching the Supreme Court. It was a beautiful thing to watch in many respects. It's unfortunate that we have to go through a thing like that. I consider it to be more election interference by the Democrats.
We turned to Jacksonville attorney Rod Sullivan for analysis. He's been practicing law for 40 years, spending 8 years as a professor at Florida Coastal School of Law.
I taught constitutional law.
And you've also argued before the Supreme Court.
I argued and won a case in front of the U.S. Supreme Court.
He notes the justices seemed skeptical today, with Chief Justice John Roberts suggesting Congress should determine how the insurrectionist clause should be applied, and even liberal-leaning Justice Elena Kagan appearing critical.
Why should a single state have the ability to make this determination, not only for their own citizens, but for the rest of the nation?
Sullivan notes that if the decision in Colorado stands, it could open the door for other states to remove candidates from the ballot.
There could be 49 more disqualification actions throughout the country if Colorado was permitted to disqualify Trump. I'm sure somebody would come up and say, well, you know, it's an insurrection to allow people to invade through the southern border, therefore Biden is disqualified.
Sullivan expects the justices could make a decision soon, with Colorado's primary ballots going out next week. Ann Maxwell, Channel 4, the local station.